This computer. Hi, Cancer. It's Denice with Divine Soul Astrology. Today we're talking about your horoscope for the new moon in Scorpio, which is on the 19th here in the States. Yeah, and I think that's it's at actually at 10:47 p.m. In other countries, it will be the next day on the 20th, right? And so Cancer, the moons are always important for you, right? So this is the new moon in Scorpio, which can be about, many things, but we're going to see how it is affecting you or maybe how you're affecting it because, the moon is your ruler, right? The moon is your natal ruler. And so every time there's a full moon or a new moon, you're always feeling it in some way, right? So the new moon is, let's see, I believe it is in your, where are you, Cancer? You are right here. I beg your pardon. Here you are, and the moon is in your fifth house. Yeah, okay. So the fifth house is about lovers. It is. It's about parents and children. It's also about our creative expression, artistic pursuits, but it can just be about our own self-expression, right? And like our sense of self, the fifth house. The fifth house, the natural ruler is the sun, which is about a sense of yourself, right? So we have the new moon there. You could be planting seeds that have to do with your own, with what maybe what you want, your own self-expression. It's like stepping into your own power or being authentic and true to yourself. That's where that's what the fifth house is about. Your fifth house is ruled by Pluto, and we like to say Mars as well. Mars is the ancient ruler and Pluto is the more modern. Pluto's a little bit more for the collective, though. This is why, because it stays in a sign for, sometimes 30 years. So it's less personal, right? It affects generations. But here we have this fifth house going on for you. And the new moon is about planting seeds, right, for the future. It's a hopeful time. It is. And so here you have your moon there, and the sun is supporting that, Cancer. That's how it works. The sun, when we have a new moon, it is conjunct. It's in a perfect conjunction on the date of the new moon, right? This fifth house too, and Mercury is here. Now, Mercury is the sign, the planet of information and the way we think, right? It can be about conversations, decisions, plans, and goals, the things we want to study and learn. And so this here, I feel like you are understanding something here, possibly about your own self-expression, or maybe about how you show up in relationships. And this is really a good reading for you because we have Jupiter in your first house, and Jupiter is trining. The sun and the moon are both trining Jupiter, right? From this fifth house of self-expression, or lovers, possibly. It's also about your recreational activities, right? It can be gambling, it can be entertainment, it can be um, also, just, it's the house of fun as well, the house of pleasure. Maybe you are, feeling, I want to have more fun. That could be the case here as well. Um, but it's also about the sports, right? Recreational activity, sporting events, or any sport that you might take up. So, but Mercury is here, and Mercury is, kind of shining its kind of intelligence on you, especially here as it is in a perfect conjunction with the sun in that fifth house. So, yeah, and so now we have, and I was saying the sun is trining Jupiter here. Jupiter is in your first house of self. So this is why almost every reading will be good for you, Cancer, and that's kind of an oversimplification, right? But Jupiter is the great benefic, and it sits in your first house or your sign. So it's a really cool thing. It really is. And yeah, and so when we have Jupiter trining, the sun trining Jupiter, this is about a blessing. These are blessings that Jupiter is bringing you for sure. And this trine is very supportive. It's a flow and an ease, and it can happen quickly for us as well, but it is definitely supporting whatever is really important. Sometimes a trine will come in and, knock something over uh, because the energy is better for you in a different, like it's serving you, right? Sometimes an ending. Like a trine can sometimes, if somebody's very ill and they've been ill for a long time, sometimes it could bring a welcome death, right? But for the most part, and that can be a good thing. So maybe somebody doesn't want to suffer, right? But this here is supporting you 180% for sure it is. And this is about your confidence, your independence, and your willpower. Yeah, and here is Mercury doing the same thing. Mercury is also about your willpower to your first house. So whatever's going on for you, it's good. I feel like it is. And so here we have the trine. Let's see the other house that the trine is happening in for you. This is your ninth house of faith and philosophy. This is also your ninth house of wisdom. So when Mercury is trining Neptune and Saturn here, this can be about your dreams too, but there's some wisdom here. Definitely, because this is the ninth house of expansion and wisdom. It's also the house of visions, right? And especially as it's as Merc as excuse me, Neptune is here. Neptune is about your dreams and your visions, which is similar to Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius usually has a vision to help them expand. That's how that works, right? And help them to grow and gain wisdom. That is the ninth house. And so, yeah, and you're trusting, it looks like you are trusting in any pursuits that require faith on your part, for sure, especially as Jupiter supports you over here. And yeah, your sense of yourself, Cancer, is strong and visionary. You're seeing your power, the sun in Scorpio, you're seeing your power and what you can create for yourself. You could be also dealing with a major transformation in your life, and it is actually supporting you. It could have been, maybe it's an ending, right? The fifth house is about love. That's where the new moon starts. There could be something ending for you, and maybe you're starting a relationship, but not necessarily. But you are definitely, because this is not your seventh or your eighth house. For you, this is where the trine, where we see from, the sun to this is your ninth house of faith and expansion, right? So, but here in Scorpio, the fifth house, Scorpio is also about intimate relationships. You could really be understanding that your intimate relationship possibly, or maybe how you approach them is maybe maybe it's on the cutting board, right? Because this is also about transformation. It's in Scorpio. That is the planet of transformation. Yes, it is. And yeah, I hope you guys can see me well here. And so we also have Mercury here in your fifth house of lovers, right? And fun and pleasure. Parents and children as well could be, like affected here. It is opposing Uranus. Uranus is change. And so this happens in your 11th house of the future. There's a big change for you. Um, yeah, that is in your 11th house. Wow, of the future here. And maybe there is some I feel like you want change here, and you could be deciding here, and there could be a decision here because the opposition will push us to make a decision. So, definitely you could be, and Uranus also represents the future because of the change involved. So here it's sitting in its beautiful own house, in the 11th house. Your 11th house is ruled by Venus. So, maybe there's a change to a relationship here. It could be also, Taurus represents money as well, right? And self-esteem. Your self-esteem's probably pretty darn good. As I said, we came in and, um, right, because of this willpower and independence that we see here with this sun trining Jupiter, right? Um, yeah. And so Mercury is retrograde, but that's okay because it makes it a little bit weaker, but it's not a game changer. No, Mercury is right here. It is conjunct this sun. And so this is Mercury, your house of thinking, your house of intelligence, not your house, but your planet, the planet of intelligence here. So you know what you're doing. Yeah, you do. You could definitely be making a decision here when we see Mercury that is, opposing Uranus. Um, yeah, I'm going to talk about the moon in a minute. I should have started kind of with the moon because the moon is your planet, but we'll talk about the sun here because that's just how I started out, right? The sun also is trining Saturn. That's what I mentioned here in your house of faith. If you've been working on something or if you have prepared for maybe a time of transformation or whatever's going on in your life. If you have really prepared, this trine is going to set you up, Cancer. Yeah, set you up big time, right? Yeah, I feel like it is. So, because Saturn is here and Saturn is with Neptune, I really feel like this is, there could have been something harsh here sometimes. Neptune and Saturn can sometimes, be about, about something that you kind of, it can be about loss sometimes, right? And kind of restrictions. Maybe you felt restricted about something. It could be a relationship as well because of this fifth house new moon. But if you've done the hard work and you've prepared in some kind of way, maybe even worked on yourself, you're looking at things here like like I can make my dreams come true, right? Your attitude is different. Your belief looks like it is different here. Yeah, it does. And so if you've done the hard work or prepared or something like that, or then, whatever that hard work may be, or you're mature possibly, or you're approaching the situation with maturity, possibly self-discipline, and seriousness and commitment. This is supporting your dreams, basically, and your vision. Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about the moon now. And here we have the moon trining Jupiter. And as I was saying, Jupiter is in your first house of self. So Jupiter is supporting you all year. Next year it'll move to Gemini, uh, not to Gemini, to Leo rather, right? And so, but you have that going on for yourself, the great benefic, until June 30th of next year. And I may, I may repeat myself in another video because that is so big. It's so huge, right? And so you're trusting in a higher power. Jupiter is also about God. It sure is. And so you're trusting in a higher power, it looks like. Maybe you're trusting in the divine, you could, or God, but you're trusting in your own expansion as well. You're trusting in your wisdom. That's what you're doing here. Um, and yeah, and your beliefs here. There's a lot of optimism here about your beliefs, about this new moon that you are kind of planting for yourself. Yeah. And some type of situation could bring you major wisdom, could be. Let's see what else we have about the moon. Yeah, and so, yeah, let's see what else we have. And yeah, let's see what else. And we have the moon is, I already mentioned this with the sun though, but here's the moon, and it is still opposing. It's moved over a little bit to, to the sun, like this opposition, but there's still an opposition here with the moon as well, in your 11th house of the future. So this is could be emotional for you. This could be like about a social connection here, but there's change here. There's definitely change, and maybe even a decision to create that change. But you're feeling challenged here, um, Cancer, about for the future. But it may be right. It's because you want change here. I feel like you do. Um, and this can, yeah, it can be definitely about unexpected change as well. Even though you're being challenged here, something could have happened kind of unexpectedly for you, or maybe it will. But this is also your house of rebellion. And, Uranus is at home here in the 11th house. It rules the 11th house. Don't pay attention to this 1098. Don't do that. Because here you are. And this is, in your 11th house, right? As we count, if you, are looking at the wheel here. Um, so a relationship can change for you as well. It really can because this here is, the this fifth house of lovers for you. Yeah, and it's in Scorpio. It's about intimate relationships opposing Uranus. It could really change. You're doing something new, definitely, Cancer, and you're being blessed. You are. And you may feel that change is very necessary because you are being challenged here. Maybe somebody kind of switched something up on you, possibly, and you're dealing with it well. Yeah, I feel like you are. Um, and maybe your self-esteem is kind of maybe it has you have your self-esteem looks really high here, but maybe something kind of jolting here had kind of made you feel a certain way because this is Taurus and it's about finances and money, but it is about your self-esteem, right? Um, yeah, but the trine from the sun, um, and to Jupiter and right, and the moon as well, and Mercury, this is all helping you, yeah, especially this sun and moon, helping you to really expand and move your life forward. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help me to get to the 4,000 hours of watch time. Yeah, and the 1,000 subscribers. Thanks so much, you guys, for joining me here today. And I'll see you in the next video.